Awesome day, everyone. Welcome to a new advocacy program online tagged as Gatekeeper of the Academe. Are you troubled because education today seems to be far from the real essence of its foundation? Are you concerned that what seemed to be wrong in the past is now becoming right even if there was never a change? Are you troubled that most of the educational practices now is not about what is right, but rather what the majority thinks will be the right thing to do? Are you afraid that in the near future, we will not already know what is right and what is wrong in the academy? Well, you are not in the wrong online program. This program will give commentaries and sensible analysis about the common challenges, problems, and stumbling blocks of the once very unblemished academy. This is not only for teachers, but even for those who wants to understand how a real teacher is thinking and analyzing the challenges around them. So, join us every night in our advocacy to give the right meaning of the academe back to where it belongs. This is Mentor Nhoie, a proud rank and file classroom teacher, and I will be your moderator and content provider. Now, it's time to talk about things that will straighten the academe. Awesome day, fellow gatekeepers of the academe. This is teacher Nhoie Gonzaga, and you are tuned in to our online advocacy, Gatekeeper of the Academe. Our focus concern today is academic freedom. Again, that is academic freedom. Generally, this is the right of teachers and students to learn and teach without outside interference. This encourages free flow of ideas without the fear of repression or stereotyping from persons with authority as long as there are no rules that are clearly violated. Now, if we don't know, when we take our oath to become professional teachers, part of that oath is to teach with the freedom to express, freedom from improper evaluation, freedom from improper disclosure, freedom to pursue knowledge, and freedom to communicate ideas. These are the 5 general indicators that academic freedom is completely and effectively practiced in the academe. Why do teachers need freedom of expression? Well, because there are no two teachers who are even 50% similar in terms of their disposal of their teaching function. That is why, in the way they should teach, they should express their ideas in their own genuine and personal approach. This part of academic freedom is often disregarded if the system is full of templates, uniformities, and other things that deprive the teacher to present ideas in their own creative and passionate ways. Uniformity is good, okay? It is often good, but it only displays what the superior wants and completely erases what the teachers can do, especially in the ways they can creatively and effectively transmit knowledge to their learners. Now, why do teachers need freedom from improper evaluation? Well, the best way to let a teacher stop growing, stop innovating, and stop discovering other aspects of efficient mentorship is to provide evaluations that reflect disobedience from authoritative wants. Remember, wants, not authoritative needs. Remember, only the teacher knows how the kind of class he or she handles should be treated and effectively handled. No two classes are the same in terms of the need to impose notable principles of how to teach. So the details of connection between a teacher and a class varies a lot. Remember, it varies a lot. In this case, the teacher should approach and do strategies specifically only for a specific class. As one class strategy, though how effective, can always be mediocre or ineffective when applied to another class. So when there is a general evaluation on this matter, one can never explain why a teacher effectively disposed of his teaching duties, teaching functions, but fails the generalized evaluation that is supposed to be aimed towards uniformity in the handling of classes in the system. So better yet, As a teacher, know your class because you are the only person who will also discover how to deal with that class. Now, why do teachers need freedom from improper disclosure? Well, inasmuch as the teacher is employed, his personal way of thinking and his humanhood is a different story to tell, and for sure that is private and should not be interfered without proper agreements and permissions. There are many things in teaching that should remain private and should not be treated as ministerial in terms of possession. A good example of that is the course syllabus. What the system needs to know is how a teacher outlines his teaching domain and indicate proper strategies to effectively transfer knowledge in each of these domain mentioned. On the contrary, course syllabus is already the actual teaching experience of the teacher in written form. Again, two reasons, okay? Or for two reasons, there is no need to publicize the teacher's course syllabus. Reason number one, each teacher has their own strategies, and what works for one is not automatically effective to the other. Reason number two, course syllabus are private properties as the teacher spent individual time and effort, sleepless nights, to come up with this document, which should only be private to the system and should not be allowed access to other teachers in the system. Again, let me underscore that one. Should not be allowed access to other teachers in the system as they are also expected to do their own course syllabus, being professionals in this field of education. Course syllabus is a personal property of a teacher, and personally owned things, even if entrusted to people, should at least deserve permission and notification before execution of its usage. At some points, the course syllabus is the reflection of the teacher's brain. Nobody wants to give their brain. Instead, if people need to know how that brain was used or how that brain is working, they can just be personally approached, and these people will be very happy to teach others their way of constructing and completing a syllabus because, in the first place, they truthfully and honestly made that syllabus. That is why we need to require the teacher his lesson outline only, but we should respect the privacy of the teacher in terms of how he uses, scrutinizes, or even converges his brain through the production of a course syllabus. Now, why do teachers need freedom to pursue knowledge? Well, the simple reason is teachers need to grow. If there are members of the Academe that should always grow and consistently get modern and present knowledge, these are the classroom teachers because they are the actual facets of knowledge. They are the actual imparters of wisdom. Okay? Now, in a system, if the leadership is updated in knowledge but the frontline teachers may have minimal chances of growth, then transferred knowledge to our learners is also affected. Very basic. This growth in the academe can be in terms of continuing studies, trainings, seminars, webinars, and immersion programs. Aside from the regularity of growth that should be done to teachers in the classroom, equality of opportunity should always be observed. Teachers who may have no more training or no training yet in almost 3 years of stagnancy should always be prioritized. If there is fairness in the training opportunities, everyone in the system will improve and will have a push in terms of efficiency and effectiveness in their performance, in the transfer of knowledge to students. But if only few are given the opportunity to rise above the rest, the growth will be stunted and abnormal, which will present a glaring imbalance. Would you like to see a person with a big head and two small hands, with a big abdomen but shorter legs? This is the kind of growth that will happen if the whole body does not grow equally in the process of growth. And this is very much similar to the growth in the academe. Now, why do teachers need freedom to express their own ideas? Well, the simple reason is if teachers still want to talk, that means they still want to share their ideas and suggestions how to improve the academe. However, there are instances wherein some teachers, their ideas are, number one, listened to but not given a chance. Reason two, listened to But some ideas are considered incompetent right away, even before being heard or given the chance to explain. Number three, some ideas are considered subordinated because of their possible perceptive academic brilliance, okay, as shown in their progressive files. Well, sometimes we have to improve our resume so that our perceptive ideas can have bearing. Teachers should be heard because they are the actual people in the classroom. There is something wrong in communicated ideas if the persons who are meeting the actual scenarios, the actual problems, the actual challenges in the classroom are asked to listen to people who are seldom in the classroom but offer that they understand the classroom better than anyone else, more than the teacher who manages the four corners of this edifice in lengthy hours, in overtime fashion. Classroom teachers do not need a book to tell people what is happening in their classroom, what needs to be improved, or what should be done. Why? They are dealing with this in terms of actual experience. Actual experiences are happening every day. Now, when the teacher feels that their good effort of expressing what they feel should be improved fell into deaf ears, and at times sees the opposite in terms of responses, teachers will mutate and adjust with what they have and improve in what they can. And by this time, they will stop talking and sharing what they think can be best. That is why we see a lot of teachers doing their jobs but talking less, okay? And they really talk less about it in terms of how to make it better. Repetitious efforts and unfulfilled recommendations often reach a point of exhaustion. Now, dear friends, in this online advocacy, let us always remember we may have employed people, we may have given them work, but they can still improve positively on their own unique pace and methods and mindset. Let us not stop people from migrating, mutating, embracing, and developing personal improvements in the academy. Doing so will result to robotic simulations and loss of personal passion in their commitment to serve the academy, to serve the learners. Academic freedom is not about power of control and freedom from being controlled. Often, it's just about knowing how to respect each other in the field of academic endeavors. If we do what is right without limit, okay, or if we do what is right without limiting what others can do, which can also lead them to a good outcome, we are leaving academic freedom to its best definition. Okay? And who will win in these situations? Well, the academe itself. Thank you very much for being a part of this online advocacy. If you have inputs, reactions, additions, comments, feel free to leave that, okay? To leave your comments, okay? Under this YouTube channel comment area. Again, leave it here in the YouTube channel comment area. This is Teacher Nhoie Gonzaga, your rank and file educator and your gatekeeper of the Academe.